Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just get a sense that tension, stress, worries are leaving your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, just get a sense that feelings of tension are leaving your body and feelings of resourceful relaxation are entering your body as you breathe in. So simply by breathing enables you to feel deeper and deeper, relaxed now. And as your physical body relaxes, I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a picturesque lake. Maybe a lake in a particular place. And you can remember that lake. This lake was big enough that large boats could enjoy different parts of the lake with the amazing scenery around. And I want you to imagine that you're not just seeing the lake, but you can picture a beautiful 28-foot boat there in the lake. And then I want you to imagine that you can see yourself on that boat, looking so deeply relaxed. Maybe you can imagine yourself there on the bow, maybe in a chair, or maybe something else, but see yourself looking so relaxed there on that boat, looking out at the stillness of the water, the magnificent scenery around. And then imagine drifting into that version of you, relaxing on that boat, on that lake. And I don't know if it's daytime and you can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, or if it's approaching sunset and you can see this magnificent sunset, but I want you to get a sense that you're enjoying the feeling of relaxation, of just gently bobbing up and down. You could feel the up and down relaxing motion of just being there on that boat. I want you to breathe how you breathed back then on that boat. Reduce any feelings of tension around your body and just enjoy the feeling of being on a boat, on a lake, at a time in your life where you were just relaxed, enjoying life. No stresses, no worries, no concerns, just enjoying the moment. And feel how good it feels to be in that moment now. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1 and you will imagine what it would be like to have a nap there on the boat, there on the lake, at a peaceful, relaxing time in your life. 10, starting to count as your eyelids get heavier and heavier. 9, relaxing any feelings of tension in your forehead or around your jaw. That's it. 8, noticing that any tension around your nostrils, your mouth, even your neck starts to relax as you're able to breathe in deeper and exhale deeper, releasing any remaining feelings of tension there in your body. If there are any sensations of anxiety, I want you to give anxiety a color. Whatever color seems useful, maybe something dark, so that as you breathe in and breathe out, see that anxiety leaving your body and feel how good it feels to have that resourceful feeling going in. That's it. And then 8 and then 7, feeling the relaxation in your shoulders, starting to go down your arms. 7, 6, that's it. As As you breathe in, feel like your internal organs are also starting to relax, continuing to see that color that represents any remaining anxiety leaving your body in your outward breath. That's it. Your lungs relax now, heart relax now, stomach, diaphragm, even your gut, all relax. Sometimes anxiety finds its way there in the gut, sometimes in the chest, but wherever it is, feel it leaving that point, going into your lungs, and then on your next outward breath, exhale and see and feel it leave your body. That's it, deeper and deeper. Relaxed now, that's it. 5 and then 4, even your legs are starting to relax. All the way down, 3 and then 2, that's it. Really starting to relax and just let go of any worries, tension, stress and anxiety.